Alright, let's just dive into it. I want to do at least 2 decks and then probably a little bit of Mythgard at the end, so also not sure exactly how long we're going to be on. Probably 4 or 5 hours at least. Hey, Jay Gravy, cashing that brand new Prime Sport. Welcome to Hooglandia. Hope you're having an excellent weekend. We are diving into some Abzan tokens here this evening, or more specifically, this is a green-white with a small black splash token. So in the main deck, we've got Hidden Stockpile here, which allows us to kind of get some card selection going, as well as create other tokens when our tokens die in our turn. Hidden Stockpile works really well with Vraska Golgari Queen. Provides us another way to provide an endless supply of tokens for Vraska to generate card advantage. Vraska gives us a little bit of main deck utility, removal to be a little bit interactive when our linear game plan is not good enough. We also have History of Benalia here alongside Gideon Ally of Zendikar. Gideon Ally of Zendikar notably making Knight Ally tokens. So the tokens Gideon makes get pumped up by History of Benalia, which is pretty reasonable synergy. Got a pair of Elspeth Sun's Champion here at our top ends as a Big Mama, and then I've got both Legion's Landing and Elvish Mystic, which are both pseudo-ramp to help us get to Elspeth a little bit before turn 6, hopefully. So let's go ahead and dive on into a league with this one and see how it goes. Evening swag, Zajad, how we doing, folks? Evening, Pythrion. Time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like banana. I mean, I guess that sounds technically correct. Thanks for the 33 months, admin. Welcome back. Long-time YouTube viewer, popped in before bath time with Little Man. Thanks for the great content. Well, thanks for helping support my stuff. Glad you enjoyed the YouTube. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Pretty easy mulligan here, right? Like no second land. I'm on the draw. I'm going to keep. I'm going to bottom a Hidden Stockpile. Let's draw a shock land on one, huh? Or planes. Rats. Hashtag never lucky. Hey, Flash, thanks for sticking on as a tier 1. Flockle, welcome back for the 2/3 of a year. Might be a quick one for our first game. Yikes. If we're lucky, they'll play a second copy of this, so we'll just get to Deck and Stone and clean them both up. I mean, to set a low bar, I think this hand was keepable. We're playing 25 lands total. We were on the draw, and like if the hand drew a land, it was very, very good. Probably going to be too slow now since we were both on the draw and they had a fast start, but they're missing their third land, I suppose, and they didn't have anything to do with this. I'm going to attend any paper events in the near future. No, I don't have any on my schedule currently. Ship it. Erwin, NCL, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hooglandia. Hope you're having an excellent weekend. Yeah. Well, huh. What if I just like flip my Legion's Landing here? Is that crazy? I feel like I'm just gonna flip my Legion's Landing here. Guess I just do this. Opponent was auto-passing and miscracking their clue there. Good beats. Rough. So let's give something haste if they're formidable, and they are exactly formidable. I mean, I guess this technically provides an endless stream of tokens, huh? Until we get Galted next turn. Galta currently costs them exactly 4. I believe it's 4. I think it's 10 to start, 12 to start. I don't remember if it's 10 or 12. One of the two. At any rate, they can cast Galta regardless of what it is. Yeah, it's 12. 12 for 12, 12. And then Surak here gives the Galta haste and we die. Hey, Bandit. Thanks for the biddies. I appreciate it. Okay, so... Definitely just bringing in a bunch of removal spells. I think I'm trimming stockpiles. I feel like I'm trimming some of my planeswalkers because they're probably a questing beast deck. Thanks for the 19 months, Panda. Welcome back. I think this is what I want to do. Give this a try. Hopefully we'll play 2 lands this game. That's why we play best of 3. Just need those shillings, put this towards Blue-Red Alliance. Which Blue-Red Alliance, Gorks? There might be Blue-Red Alliance in 3 formats in the queue right now, so I'm pretty sure there's at least Standard and Pioneer. If I played the Nissa there, the Nissa just died to the Steel Leaf Champion, so I don't think that was very good. I also don't think any of our decisions mattered, and we were just losing regardless. But the Steel Leaf Champion can't be blocked by chumps. If the Steel Leaf Champion could be chumped, I agree. Playing Nissa was the line, but Steel Leaf Champion cannot be chumped. Yep. Alright. 4th lane's a good pickup. Let's get rid of that. Put this into play tap. Smack him for 2. Could start pumping out Gideon tokens next turn. It's a big in. Their big ones are not great against the Sun's Champion eventually, though. So this land's a good pickup here. See if we can run off another. Next 2 draw steps. I mean, Steel Leaf's just good against our deck in general, right? It's basically unblockable here. Your monsters keep turning to stone, opponent. You might want to have that looked at. Yep. Zorak has haste. Great. Got a lot riding on an untapped land here. Tilt. I'm gonna get Galted next turn and eat it. Hey, Mr. Zout. Thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. It sucks to draw these lands on turn 6 or whatever like this, but the way I like to think about these is they're basically, these are basically like fast lands. So like, if this was Razor Verge Thicket, it would also be tapped here. It's the best way to approach it, I think. They send all of these at, oh, we're just pivoting to my face here, huh? Okay, I think I just go to 5 here. Elspeth, Plagued Wind you. So Elspeth's down tick, destroys all creatures power 4 greater. Make a 2/2 friend. Pass the turn here. Yeah, we should hopefully turn the corner hard and fast here. I'm gonna need to start. I'm going to emblem my Gideon and then like start pumping out 3 2/2s every turn with Elspeth Sun's Champion. So her uptick is create 3 1/1s. If we draw an untapped land next turn, we actually get to go second Gideon plus history, which would be great. A Terminal, thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Stingy, thanks for the 12 months of support. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. They have outs to Elspeth. Yeah, trample, right? Ghalta tramples. It's a good pickup. So create some friends. Make all my friends bigger. Ghalta does it for a very small window, right? Hey, Genesis. Thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So now every Planeswalker activation is every turn we're creating 6 9 power worth of creatures across 4 bodies. So like their window is going to close very, very quickly, especially with the Assassin's Trophy here. Their ability to claw back into this game should be very, 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 very minimal. Yeah, we posted that up in here yesterday, Ortog. A bunch of people tagged me in them. Even with the Assassin's Trophy, Serac and Ghalta doesn't even do it at this point, I don't think. Honestly, it might have even just been right to just like emblem the Gideon, the second Gideon last turn. I might just do that actually this turn, just like emblem the second Gideon. Embleming the second Gideon means Elspeth just makes 9 power per turn. Although I guess embleming the Gideon means that I can't downtick Elspeth without killing my knight allies, which is relevant. You've got a 7/7. Let's totes adorbs. Hey, thanks for the 2/3 of a year, Fearburger. Welcome back. Opponent is now clueless. All right, would you like to trade Yorvo for 2 3/3s? Your move. You would in fact like to trade Yorvo for 2 3/3s. I think I'm okay with that. Just like in. Rad Chad, best Chad. He is quite the card. The Legion has landed Jet. Yeah, Abby. We're probably gonna flip Abby next turn. Just start gaining life that way. Westvale Abbey flips under the Ormondal, the Profane Prince here to attack for 10 on this guy. Gain 10. Phyrexian Revoker. That's cute. Let's get that one out of here. Would like to use my Planeswalker next turn, thanks. So put you to 6, gain 10. Yes, Ormondal is flying, lifelink, indestructible haste. We have 9, 17, 20. So I assume they're just gonna like shove with everything here and hope we don't math. Or make sure that one is really dead. Just in case. Just in case. You order them blockers. Everybody get in the bus. I feel like this isn't an Anointer Priest matchup. I mostly put this in for, like, the red decks. My opponent's deck, like, kills us in large chunks, so I think this isn't ideal. This is probably better than Saproling Migration. So, this hand's missing white altogether, but if I hit the first white, this flips into the second white, and as is, I get to go Elf into Nissa. So, I think this is a keep. Perfect. And now I'm going to lead on the white, because this way, if they drop Steel Leaf Champion, I can drop History if I draw another white source. Hey, thanks for the 12 months of support, Sunshine. Make sure you got a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Questing Beast needs lifelink. That's a take. Questing Beast needs lifelink. Yep. I would like to chump block Serac. This will go to 2. If we don't draw a removal spell here, we can get Ghalta next turn. How good is Saproling Migration? I have no idea. Let's find out. Wait, did this hit me? That's gotta mean Ghalta is happening next turn, right? It's kind of terrifying. I think we're just dead to Ghalta. My hand was okay, just didn't have any interaction in it, which maybe means I'm supposed to mulligan. I don't know. Saproling Migration plays nice with Saproling Migration plays nice with Legion's Landing as well. You can like turn 1 landing, turn 2 migration. Alright, well step 1 didn't get Ghalted. We also have O1s that get to chump block this Ripjaw Raptor endlessly, which is sweet. I mean, the Saproling Migration might be awful. The answer to the question is, I don't know. Hey, Shorts and Boots. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday wherever you're in the world. Thanks for keeping me around. Steel Leaf Champion's real bad news for us. Yorvo, annoying, but not the end of the world. So I can double block one of their 4/4s here. And then I can go jump on the others. We'll gain 1. Next turn I get to shock in the Overgrown Tomb, kick the Saproling Migration, make a token with Gideon, make a token with History, down tick my Nissa. I think I'm just supposed to down tick her next turn as opposed to going for the ultimate. Feel like their board's getting too scary for me to not pump up the squad. Putting 4 tokens, 4, 5, 6 tokens into play, and then growing them all right away sounds really appealing. Okay, so easy blocks here. We'll go these 2 here, this here, this here. Their stuff doesn't have haste anymore. This makes the board a little less scary. It makes the top of their deck a little less scary, I guess I should say. Yeah, down ticking it will put me to, I'm going to have 4, 8, and then plus I'll have like 14 power. That's really good. It's really good last card. I wonder if they name Nissa or Gideon here. Could see this going either way. So we'd like to draw Vraska then. We've got 3 copies of her. We've also got some Deccan Stones, some Assassin's Trophies. Elspeth, also an excellent draw. We're at 6 mana. Shows Nissa, yep. Here's an Assassin's Trophy. Alright, sweet. Make a thing. Do this. This. Green. Trophy this. And now the question becomes, do I still want to Nissa down tick if I can? Now I feel like I kind of don't. Now I think since I'm not kicking this, I think I just like do this plus here land pass. And like hope to just like hold the door for a turn. They have a draw step plus an activation with Duskwatch Recruiter to like find another Phyrexian Revoker. There's a Ghalta, sure. Nissa alt is gain life and draw cards equal to the number of lands you control. So she'll gain 5, draw 5 next turn. Which hopefully finds a Sun's Champion. Hopefully we draw land for the turn and then draw 6. At the very least, hopefully we draw a removal spell for Ghalta. Yep, Knight's gonna bump. Sick. Alright, so land. Grasp this. I'm doing it now because I don't want to get like Blossoming Defense next turn. Huh. So I don't really care about killing this right away, I don't think. Like, they can still Ghalta again either way. So I think I'm actually going to go 0. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. So if you look at the Simic Flash decks that are in the top 8, the Simic Flash deck that we've often criticized on stream here is very different than the list that were successful this weekend. The lists that were successful this weekend were not playing, like are playing a bunch of good cards, basically. They're playing Big Stand, thanks for 11 months. They're playing Hydroid Crisis and other things that are just like excellent magic cards. They're like cut bad flash cards from that archetype to just play good spells. Is the TLDR on them. I mean, I think if I Vraska, I'm killing something. I mean, like, a good group of players played the deck, and they took a deck that was, like, close and made it better. It could be right to just do this and eat the Legion's Landing. They're at 1 card here. It could also be right to just, like, Nissa and plus, though. Nissa and plussing has the upside of not letting them draw a card next turn. Because if I don't make a 0-1 with Nissa, I have to block this with something that has power, and then Enrage lets them draw a card. Nah, I mean, like, the current format, like, the previous Flash decks that people are playing were still bad. Like, the people that did well with that deck, like, added a bunch of really good cards to it. Like, there were some really, like, some of the best standard players in the world picked up an archetype that was bad and, like, made innovations in it and made it competitive. Like, that's unsurprising. Evening the Elk. Killing Duskwatch, stop them. I mean, like, do I even really care about another Ghalta? I feel like I can beat that at this point, right? I don't know. Shaming players for deck... I mean, that's... No one was shaming a player for a deck choice here. We were discussing the merits of deck choices that people have made. And you can be critical of decisions players have made without being hostile towards the players themselves. Hey, Jordal Greg, thanks for the very generous Tier 3 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, it has a lot of similarities to that. We got a small black splash for some good cards, but they have a Westvale Abbey of their own. That's interesting. Huh? Did I mess up here? I might have messed up. So I'm gonna have Vraska. I'm gonna kill Steel Leaf Champion. Yeah, I messed up. I should have down ticked this Nissa. So I'm gonna play this other Nissa out. I'm gonna keep the new one. I'm gonna make this a human. I'm gonna down tick this. I'm gonna smash them. So I miss lethal. So if I would have down ticked the other Nissa instead of making this, they'd have blocked here and they'd have taken lethal here. So they're at 1 and they'd be at -3. Yeah. Alright. So I miss lethal that last turn. Ah, sweet. It was a good showing for a deck. A little bit of a clunker start game 1 in the match, but I feel like we finished out strong. Sun's Champion really flexing our muscles in the second game for us, stabilizing hard. Hey, Pomoyne, thanks for the tier 3 and for the half a year. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend wherever you're at in the world. It's been a hot second since we've been around on the weekend. The Pioneer queue is dark and full of terrors. I don't want them all to wait too long, so putting in extra hours where I can. I'm going to plan is do 2 Pioneer decks and then do like hour and a half, 2 hours of Mythgard to wrap things up. Is turn 2 Nissa good? Yeah, I agree, Sando. The core game mechanics of Mythgard are great. The test of time for any of these new games is definitely like, not only do they need a good core gameplay, but they need to like be able to sustain that good gameplay across a couple of sets. So it'll be interesting to see how their game grows over the course of 2020 when they plan to release 2 expansions. Yeah, I have a non-copter list for Insol. I don't think I updated the deck list queue. The deck in the queue, but yeah. There was a Insol list without copter in the last 5.0 dump that I just copy and pasted. Does Mythgard have some kind of storyline? It does have a single player game mode. This card's not very good against our token deck. That's exciting. I can't tell you if their single player story mode is good or bad because I haven't played it. That's not really my thing, but other folks I know have enjoyed it. So I think I just uptick again here. I could downtick and smack Oko for 3. I think I'd rather just keep going wide. I don't have a ton of resources left here, so I want to just like get this Nissa ticking up, and like maybe we can flip her down the line or alter down the line like we did last game. I mean, like I care about Oko making them 3/3s. Like Oko doesn't like impact my board in a meaningful way, but like it creating them a board is good. It's still pseudo slowed. Tier 3s can also add a Pioneer deck. So one of the things that happened that I'm not really complaining about is since I let tier 3s add Pioneer decks, I had a bunch of people upgrade their subs to tier 3 subs. This is unfortunate. So they get to make this a 5/5 and crack her. This we really care about. Alright, so I get to chump this, kind of, and she goes to 1. But I still have enough things to flip Legion's Landing, so that's nice. I get to deck and stone the food token next turn, but with Vivian Arcbow Ranger here, we're going to need to draw some spells now. That is not the spell I wanted for Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. There's just so many submissions that, like, if I don't have it at that price, I just, like, people have to wait too long. Is the TLDR. Like, even with the upped price requiring a tier 3 sub, I'm still taking in Pioneer decks at basically the same rate I'm playing them. Which is a good problem to have, all things considered. The question is, do I want to deck in stone this turn, or do I want to just like play a tap land and do this? Hey, Weasel, thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I think I'm just going to play a tap land, just like Nissa's dying regardless of what I do most likely, so I'm just going to activate the Adonto this turn, get a little bit of value, and then next turn, I can activate Adonto and Deck and Stone, assuming I draw another blank. Evening, Mr. Sullivan. My plan is to open deck submissions back up for $25 for Pioneer once I'm down to less than about 10 in the queue, because 10's about a week worth of decks. Oh, and thanks for the host, Adrian. Hope you had a good stream this evening. PTQs. Hey, Vorsmythe. Yeah, Cat Oven decks are pretty reasonable. I think they had kind of a medium tournament. I don't know. Oh, that's unique, interesting sequencing. So opponent made small sequencing mistake there. They put a counter on this, giving a trample until end of turn with Vivian, but then Oko'd their elf. So this actually does not trample at the moment. Which seems good for us. Both of these are attacking my Nissa, so she's dead because this says trample, so just gonna let this happen. She gone. Would love to draw a one of our powerful planeswalkers here. We've got 2 6-mana Elspeth, which would be just like the best draw possible. How about another land? Another land's a little medium. I think I'm just deck and stoning their food here. I'm going to go ahead and attack their Vivian before I do that. I don't know that we can really win this game at this point. That's not true. We can definitely win this game. If they don't draw any more spells, we manage to draw some spells, we could be okay. I mean, we're in match 2, game 1. We won the first one. Deck feels like it has a cohesive game plan. We have a plan. We have a plan. Whether or not our plan is good enough remains to be seen. Thanks for 17 months, Colin. I appreciate that. Welcome back. School is important. Good to hear you're focusing on that. Yeah, correct, right? Can, like, if we're gonna flood, can I get a Westvale Abbey at least? Details on how the deck queue works, if you're not familiar with my point system, can be found on my website here. Westvale Elk. I mean, like, until they played the Gilded Goose here, like, if I drew Westvale Abbey, it was going to immediately kill Oko, so take a break. What you just said is off base and wrong. Okay. I mean, sure. So... What did I reveal earlier? Reveal Godless Shrine, so we'll play that one. Alright, we all got some Planeswalkers. It's honestly speaks... I tweeted this about Standard too, but really it just, like, speaks volumes to, like, the current state of, like, Magic formats that, like, once upon a time in Veil of Summer were banned in Standard and now Pioneer, and like these formats are still incredibly green in terms of colors people are playing, which is really a very huge testament to like how powerful green has been in the last few years, that like they banned two of the best tools for these colors. They're still just the best thing you can be doing. Now they need to be conscious of how they're spreading out their tokens with Vivian, because depending on how they do this, Elspeth can downtick and kill things with 4 or more power. Would really love to draw our 4-mana Vraska so we can kill Oko. Okay. Interesting. That's aggressive. They just like pumping up Gilded Goose so I can like get it on Elspeth. This is a big swing. So if they attack with everything... I don't even know what I do, because I want to pressure their Planeswalkers on the backswing. They're just holding tight. Like, not attacking with the Goose there is super wrong, right? I guess they can make a food. I guess. I mean, like, as far as, like, non-spells go, that's towards the top, right? Like, this and Westvale Abbey are the best. I've actually flooded enough that I can activate Castle and activate Adanto in the same turn. So we've got that going for us, chat. We can pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can pay 9 mana and make 2 1/1s. This stupid Goose is gonna like dab on our Elspeth here. They have a Nykthos in their deck? What? Oh god, we're about to get like pigged out of the sideboard, aren't we? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Is that real life? Did that just happen? Is this where we're at? Good golly. That's the thing, I guess. I mean, I've got Deccan Stone. I have 2 copies of Deccan Stone, so like, you know, we got draws here. Hidden Stockpile. Man, where were you 40 turns ago? So this lets us sacrifice a creature to scry 1. Thing's indestructible too, right? Yeah, of course it is. So I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, making a 15th. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers. So I don't even have lethal if I draw an Anthem, right? So even if I draw an Anthem, they can make a food, eat a food. So I basically have to find Deccan Stone, right? Saproling Migration definitely ain't it. If I was going to do this anyways, I should have blocked and sacked, right? This thing doesn't trample and it doesn't fly. Yeah, okay. The reason why I didn't block and sack is because I'm kind of checked out. I guess I can check here if my Deccan Stones are gone. Now I've got 2 Deccan Stones in my deck. We're just gonna die to this exiling 20 cards a bunch. I didn't put 4 Deccan Stones in my deck. Maybe that's wrong. All these seem great. I think this is, again, just like Hidden Stockpile out game plan. I'm just going to board like I did against the last deck. It's basically another screen stompy deck. Slightly different tools, but similar core strategy. I don't think Questing Elk is very good here. My opponent has lots of things that can block Questing Elk. No, I think that puts us too far behind Punchworthy. I think at that point I can hit Deccan Stone and it just doesn't matter. So this is the turn 1 landing, turn 2 migration, turn 3 flip landing. So we got that going for us. This is a sweet start. So Gideon's actually a great draw here because this setup allows us to turn 3 Gideon. So like the landing, we kind of have 8 mana dorks in a way because some of our starts look like this. Sure. I believe 3 of the 4 people playing Simic Flash top-aided. The three MPL players that worked together to optimize the list all did well. Sacking a food to cast an elf seems strange. Not if you have Oko in your hand. Leading on Goose over Elf does seem strange if you only have 1 land. I agree. I agree with that. I guess they wanted to block my 1/1. Is the thing they wanted to do. So like I played a 1/1 on 1, so they wanted to play an 0/2 to block probably. Three blue-green flash in the top 8. Maybe we're just gonna play all historic this week on Arena or next week on Arena. I don't know. I think I wanna wait for like the blue-green flash hubbub to die. Playing against that deck is just like misery. Gosh, super unfortunate that like just don't have another land. Gotta play catch and release here. They're gonna go play like turn 2 Oko, and this is gonna be too slow, but I don't think I can go to 5. Keep can never win, basically. I think the Fire's deck is fine. It's not... I have to look at, like, what the actual metrics from the event are, but it's not uncommon for, like, the deck that's, like, the known good deck going into the weekend to, like, underperform a little bit. We'll get to find out here if giving them a history lesson is good enough in this format. No blocks. Take 3. Take 4 maybe? If we're lucky, they don't have a land. Oh wait, they drew a land, right? Wait, where are their revealed cards? Did it not reveal? Did I close it? I might have closed it. I must have exited out. I probably exited out and forgot. That's aggressive. So does this mean like they have another Wicked Wolf? To be extra fair to like Simic Flash, like not only did those players like optimize it well, but like when Casualties of War seems like a playable Magic card, playing a bunch of counterspells is probably like an extra good thing to be doing, right? Believe it or not making a play till turn 3 on the draw probably means we're dead. Hey, look, a distraction. Is the Simic aggro, is that a real Pioneer deck? Yeah, it's a very real deck. Simic, Stompy, aggro, whatever you want to call it, like base green aggro, splash Oko, and like some summer denials and stuff. Has put up a number of finishes. It's a little bit worse since Veil of Summer and Once Upon a Time got banned, but as a whole, the archetype is very real. I would be surprised if it was right. And then again, just like to hammer home why those were such good bannings, like archetypes that use those cards are still not only playable but good. Really, in my mind, hammers home like why those cards needed to go. I'm gonna go to 2 here. Six, man. They have like Hydroid Creases? God, they have actual factual Hydroid Creases. Good golly. That's a good draw. Alright. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I think I'm just playing history here. Gosh, I guess I could Nissa and make a chump blocker. Maybe I just do that. If they have another Vivian, where I think we're dead no matter how we slice it. This is game 3. I think it's Nissa tokens kill Viv, like keep everything on defense. And then yeah, I think we're just dead to another trampler. Yeah, land X turn would like let us flip Westvale Abbey. Looks like Vivian. Walking Ballista. God, just all their stuff just super unfortunate. That was a close game. That game was much closer than I was expecting it to be after we mulliganed and then had a very slow start. Did my other token have Vigilance too? No, that's why I didn't attack with it. So tokens from history are knight allies, are just knights with Vigilance. These are knight allies without Vigilance. I think Teamer Midrange is great. If you're not in the subscriber Discord, Bearded Caveman, you should pop in there. One of the players in there had posted a Teamer Oko midrange deck that they had 5-0'd with after Once got banned. Mana Dorks on the player, real good chip. Sure. That is a 4th land at least, even if it is not the second white source I need. What did Copter get replaced with in the Insult deck? I have no idea. You could probably Google it. I'm going to trade here. I don't need this elf at this point, I don't think. This does expose Vraska to dying, but yeah, it feels a little bad. I don't know. Woof. Really want a white source here? I guess I get to go stockpile, sack this, make 2/1/1 scry. Because then these trigger at the end of my turn and make 2/1/1s. Evening, Mikey. By sacrificing this, I don't take 3, so that's nice. Still just digging for an untapped white here. I bottomed the last Overgrown Tomb. I'm not blocking here because I need this servo to sack to trigger my Hidden Stockpiles next turn. Assuming I miss a white source. I'm going to do this. Attack for 1. Sack it before my end step. Scry 1. And then get triple revolt. Make 3 new 1/1s. Thoughts on the Mythic Championship? It was good. To set a low bar, it was the most exciting Mythic Championship to date. A lot of the other Mythic Championships have not had good date and times. They've been like in formats that are like banned or soon to be banned. They're just not stellar. This is playing a little bit with my life total, but especially because they're about to draw 3. Wow, we only took 2 there. That's really good for us. Add this to the Drake Haven builder. I definitely can, DH Red Link. Thanks for the tier 2. I appreciate it. Welcome back. They have Frenzy exiled. Well, that's terrifying. Hey, Fortified Village. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attack for 1 here. And I'm attacking because I'm sacrificing this to my stockpile anyways. I'm in for a land. I'm going to play this tapped. This format's slower than Modern. It's not play New Horizons slow. That card is too slow to be competitive. Yeah, Beaumont Courier plus Frenzy is super powerful for sure. So I think I just Gideon, make a token pass. I could shock that land in to net 2 tokens, but I think that's too aggressive. I think 6 versus 4 is relevant here. I guess getting 2 tokens gives me more blockers. Probably just dead. And Frenzy's good, it's really good. Stumbled just a little bit too long there at the start. Needed to find that second white source sooner. Anointer Priest, get in my deck. Thank you. Deck and Stone sounds good. This might be a trophy matchup. Elspeth Sun's Champion definitely needs to get out of here. Trophy, what's it called? Trophy kills Experimental Frenzy. It just seems relevant. As good as Stockpile was there, I think I want to trim some. I don't want to get caught with too many black cards that I can't cast. Black is like our splash color, so I have the fewest black sources of everything else. And like I'm boarding in extra black cards, so I want to like get caught with a bunch of uncastables in my hand if I'm missing that source. Might just be another Stockpile out as the last card. Hopefully they're not playing Goblin Chain Whirler. That card probably just ends us. Alright, fingers crossed. Let's draw lands 3-4. For 6 mana and constructed, I want a card that ends the game. Does Elspeth deliver on that? Is that a question? I would like for you to describe a matchup to me that cares about 6 mana cards that Elspeth doesn't win. I'll wait. Alright, well, we missed a land, but that's pretty reasonable since they're missing lands too. I'm going to hold this back because I don't think dealing 1 point of damage to them is worth potentially taking 1 damage from a haste creature on the backswing. Well, we're both missing lands. My deck has 25 lands in it, and I kept a 2-lander, so naturally that means we're going to continue to draw 3 mana spells I can't cast, because this is Magic the Gathering. At least they're also doing nothing. Thank goodness. Alright. Remember, chat, your history is very important. You need to know it. Remember, this is supposed to be the easy game, right? Like, this is the game where we're on the play. Always split aces and eights. Lol. You got to add to your book 26 lands later last night in red black mid range. Feels bad, man. Second Deccan Stone. Well, that's probably game winning, right? Yeah, I'm just supposed to Deccan Stone these and attack. It's kind of appealing, just play another history out here. I don't think it really matters. They stumbled long enough, and I don't think there's really a wrong way to eat that recess. Hey, Top Toe. Thanks for doling out a couple of sub gifties. Happy Saturday evening. And we are in our 3rd match with our tokens deck. We're going to do 1 more Pioneer League after this, and then I think we're going to roll on into some Mythgard to wrap up the night. I mulligan for one of my 8 1-drops on the draw? I'm probably supposed to. These cards aren't particularly strong on their own. Hidden Stockpile doesn't enable well in this hand. Is my dashboard thing still screwed up? What dashboard thing was ever screwed up? This hand's great, right? Is it crazy to bottom Blooming Marsh here? I feel like it's not. Oh, yeah, they fixed that part of it. It's still missing a bunch of features that, like, the dashboard used to have. So, like, that's still not great, but I can at least access my channel statistics now, yeah. Perfect. So they have Lightning Strike in Exile. I'm just going to play History of Benalia then. I don't think I want to play Priest out into a Lightning Strike. I think I also just, like, don't want to just pass this turn. So I'll probably strike the Knight and then crack me for 4. Hey, Evening Jin. That's a really good draw. Lets me go Priest. And then play this game too. As long as there's not a Chain Whirler in our future, I feel like we're in a pretty okay spot. I'm gonna block here. I can Embalm this if they kill it. Like, I feel like the odds of them having 2 spells here are low. I do kind of feel like they banned... I do kind of feel like I think Standard's probably fine and the format's plenty diverse, but I do kind of feel like looking at the PT or the Mythic Championship or whatever, that they probably would have been better served having banned they probably would have been better served having banned Nissa than Oko from Standard. Sweet. I'm not sure they could actually do that from the PR standpoint. Like, I think, like, Magic, Twitter, and Reddit would have lost their collective minds because they don't largely understand how to balance formats. But I feel like, and it could just be, it's definitely subjective, right? But I think my own personal enjoyment of Standard would be higher playing against Oko without Veil than playing against Nissa. The types of decks I tend to enjoy playing are often very bad against cards like Nissa and Hydroid Krasis, especially when they're combined together. I think Oko's actually just, like, not that bad in a world where you know your Noxious Grasp is going to kill it. It's not even just the mana doubling, right? It's just like an endless stream of 3/3 haste is also obnoxious. I might keep this. Yeah, the Vigilance stops aggro too. My personal favorite types of decks to play in Magic actually tend to be decks like this one that I'm playing right now, which are mid-range decks that tend to have a little bit of an aggressive slant to them. And Nissa just, like, takes those types of decks and just, like, throws them in the garbage can, basically. Which is definitely a personal choice. How unplayable would heroic reinforcements be in Pioneer? I don't think completely unplayable. Ooh, that's a sweet draw. That being said, it looks like there's a chance our opponent's playing Nexus of Fate, so there's a good chance we just need to race here. Ooh, Teamer. Okay, you have my attention. You've piqued my interest. I'm about to get, like, Flame Swept here. How is Mythgard? Mythgard's good. They had a big balance patch a week or two ago, if you didn't see that. I've been struggling a little bit to find an aggro deck I really like post-patch, but I think on the surface, a lot of the changes they made a lot of sense. Jin's here fairly frequently. Yeah, relevant magic-related links are always welcome in chat. My only asterisk is that I personally don't look at deck lists midstream. So, and I actually sent them feedback that their sub-gifty thing is stupid, Invictius, but the way it currently stands, you have to gift a sub every 30 days to get back your sub-gift icon, which is really stupid and predatory. I did not realize that. It also only shows 3 icons. That is accurate. It doesn't reset, it just hides it. So, like, whatever number you have gifted is still there. And, like, if you gift one sub, it like, puts back the proper number again. Thanks for the biddy, Zephyr. I appreciate it. There's a deck in the queue you'd like to see a little bit sooner. Be sure to let me know. I'd be happy to bump it up. Thanks for the pile of gifts. Happy Saturday to you. It's been a hot moment. So it looks like the opponent's playing Nexus of Fate, splashing for Is It Charm and other red stuff. Paying my penance for building Civic Flash. Lol. Are they an Expansion Explosion deck? They could just be playing Expansion Explosion in, could not be an Nexus deck, just be an Expansion Explosion deck ported to, Welcome to our newest members of Hoaglandia. Never forget that the speech Invictius giveth, Invictius can also taketh away. Use your newfound powers for good. So, sacking Legion's Land into Vraska is fun. Kinda neat. I'm gonna play a tapped white source here. I think we're playing Nissa, Voice of Zendikar. And I think I'm gonna go up with her this turn, and then we'll plan to go down with her the next 2 turns. Yeah, the fact that Vraska is just short of killing Reclamation does rather suck. Yeah, Vraska works really well with Hidden Stockpile, which is great. Deltherius, thanks for the 17 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Happy Saturday. I assume we're dead here. We just did not have anywhere near enough aggression this game. They've got their whole engine online at this point. Are we dead to another expansion explosion? They've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they'll have 14, 15. So not quite dead to another expansion explosion, but dead next turn to one. Oh, they're also playing Nexus of Fate. Okay, good. Glad we didn't concede learning some more information about like what's in their deck. Now we're dead to Expansion Explosion. Post board, we have a bunch of cards to bring in here. We've got Thoughtseize, Questing Beast, Assassin's Trophy. Get to trim some of our expensive planeswalkers like Elspeth. Get to trim our Deck and Stones. Probably trim Vraska. Maybe some Hidden Stockpiles, see how things line up. This is 24, 27 mana total. What a giver. They let me draw the cards and they killed me. I appreciate that. Alright, so those are the easy ins. These are the easy outs. Looking at curve considerations, it's probably Vraska out. I'm not sure I'm a Westvale Abbey. I'm dragging my curve down. I probably don't really want to be activating that land anyways. Let's give this a go. Arena doesn't. Floating mana at the end of your turn is actually quicker on Magic Online than Magic Arena. Magic Online actually has a number of like small in-game interface things that Magic Arena would be well served to copy. Yeah, our curve's very elegant here, especially when you consider the fact that, like, we have some 1-mana accelerants to, like, jump up a little bit, too. Definitely go, like, 1, 3, 4 here. This is certainly a matchup where we are the beatdown, so we're going to want to be mulliganing for hands that can be aggressive in nature. This is not a matchup that we're going to win by being incredibly interactive. Definitely want to just do our best to run them down. Yeah, the ability to look at your sideboard while you're playing games. It took Magic Online a long time to add that feature, too. I remember playing Legacy with Burning Wish decks. Way back in the day, not being able to check your sideboard mid-game. Just had to, like, remember and then cast your Burning Wish. Cross your fingers. I'm trying to find a Glint Sleeve Siphoner deck with no success. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like, one of the things about the energy decks is that, like, they just don't get much better than they were in Standard. And, like, this format's just a higher power level than what Kaladesh Standard was. But I think that's one of the reasons why Marvel hasn't found success in this format. I think it's probably really bad against the various Flash decks. Hey, Pithy. Thanks for the 13 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Pretty unlikely to have anything I want to Assassin's Trophy onto. Even if they play Search for Escanta, I don't want to ramp them. So, this is a good draw, though. We get to go ahead and just, like, go History into Gideon here. Basic Force is actually great for us, because it means that my opponent cannot Is It Charm us this turn, which is a card they showed us last game. Growth Spiral into Reclamation here. Yep. Alright, so now the question is, do I want to Trophy Reclamation this turn? I'm not sure. Let's start by attacking and see where we go from there. I think trying to draw comparisons like that are kind of nonsense, Mikey. Like, fundamentally, History and Lingering Souls do very different things. The only thing they really have in common is the fact that they make some tokens, but the way in which they do that and the types of tokens that they make are very, very different. I'm gonna jam the Gideon. Jamming the Gideon kills them very quickly. This does get Is It Charmed, which kind of sucks. Yeah. I don't know. The upside to jamming the Gideon here, too, is that if I draw an untapped land next turn, I can actually trophy plus history, so it lets me use my mana super efficiently 2 turns in a row, which is ideal. It untaps itself for Nash. The last line of text, the last thing in the line of text is untap it. Well, they didn't have an expansion explosion last turn, so let's hope they don't have it again this turn. If they have a land and an explosion, they're drawing 6 cards. It's a lot. Maybe I'm just supposed to trophy there. I don't know. The idea of, like, only using... The idea that, like, I'm only going to get to use 2 of my mana on a 4 just really doesn't seem good. Sure. They have Nexus of Fate. Brutal. I would not be sad. I don't know if Nexus of Fate needs to be banned in this format from a power level perspective, but from a, like, this card sucks to play against perspective. Or is it just dig? Oh. Well, shoot. I think we've died. I would bet we've died. My wife said if I was a good boy this week, I would get a special treat. Who knew it would be Jeff on Saturday? What's going on, Wellborn? Hope you're enjoying your weekend. This trophy means that Azcanta is gonna get to flip next. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they ban. The fact that they banned Field of the Dead in this format makes me think that they're gonna ban something out of these Reclamation decks. I feel like if Field of the Dead wasn't okay, these Nexus decks are similarly not okay. The types of decks that these Nexus decks, these Reclamation decks prey on, these Nexus Reclamation decks are like very similar to the types of decks that the Field of the Dead decks prey on. And honestly, I think the Field of the Dead decks are easier to attack than like what this person's doing. Like, the Field of the Dead decks, you can interact with their creatures in play, and you can just attack over them in the air. These decks, like, fog you have to interact with specifically enchantments. Just the axes of interaction are a lot more narrow. I'll be incredibly... So far, Wizards of the Coast has made a lot of what I think are really good decisions surrounding the ban list in Pioneer, and I would be incredibly frustrated if, because of these Reclamation decks, they ban Dig Through Time. Wow, super punished. Yeah, I guess I should have sequenced that the other way because of Is It Charm too, but his actual factual Spell Pierce is kind of a tilt. Definitely should have led on history there because of Is It Charm. Was punished by a card that's not quite Is It Charm, but is close. So should have a resolved history and not this. If I was looking for a fast proactive deck in this format, what would I recommend? Right now, probably blue-green Stompy. The blue-green Eldrazi deck on my website is also very reasonable. Today at my company Christmas party, I received socks from my Secret Santa. I know I'm a husk of an old man because I was ecstatic. They're so soft. Listen, lean into it, embrace it. Yeah, so had I sequenced properly last turn, I'd have a another night this turn, and I have a history in play waiting to pop off. I assume we're just dead at this point. Like, they have a Nexus, they have a Sartreskanta. I'm gonna go ahead and pack it in and move to the next one here. Wow, I've really been playing this league for an hour and a half already. Kind of flew by. Alright, I'm playing a 25 land deck. I'm excited to never draw my third land and die here, but this hand's okay. We're 2-2, playing for $7 or approximately one burrito from Chipotle. Hashtag Moto is gambling. Land. Meat burritos are 9. Well, maybe you should reconsider the type of burrito you get. I think there's also a possibility that just, like, the black cards are unnecessary in this deck. We just have, like, slightly less painful, more consistent mana. If I just, like, wasn't on Stockpile in Vraska. The build around donation was for specifically, well, that's just a card we can never beat, right? Pretty sure I just play history here and, like, hope to rape deck in stone, but game 1, I have very few answers to this card. Hey, thanks for the 44 months, Aaron. Welcome back. Maybe they don't have spells, right? One of the nice things about this format is Thing in the Ice is guaranteed to not flip on their third turn because there aren't really any free spells. Rosethorn Acolyte's like the only thing they could have to flip it on turn 3, and that's pretty unlikely. Looks like a Plague Wind to me. Short of course, yep. So again, we get, I've got 2 copies of Deck in Stone. I don't currently have a 4th land, otherwise Vraska would be out here. So I think my plan here is do this, play Hidden Stockpile, crack them for 2 here, sack a token to Hidden Stockpile, get my scry on. The 4th land here does give us more out, so like they're likely going to get to flip the thing over next turn and get rid of my board. But if I can take it off the table, I do have tools to potentially rebuild here. Game 1, match 5, Pokemon Nerd. That is not one of our 5 main deck answers to Thing in the Ice. Super anecdotal, but I feel like the deck our opponent's playing like kind of fell off the map for a hot second on Magic Online. It was like all over the place when the format first dropped, and then like nothing got banned out of it, and it's just like I haven't played against it much in the last dozen or so leagues that we've played. Remember when control decks played Thing in the Ice? Not good ones. And he was in Standard. I actually don't remember that Standard all that well. History of Benalia leaving play, triggering Hidden Stockpile is kind of great. This deck's got a lot of really fun small synergies like that. Hey, thanks for the raid, Zan Man. Hope you had a wonderful stream this evening. Nissa here creates an endless supply of jump blockers, so that's nice. And my opponent couldn't bring the Arclight Phoenix back last turn, so low chance they can bring it back this turn. So like, maybe we have a shot here. We find a Deccan Stone. They also have 2 Phoenixes in their bin, which is kind of terrifying. So like when they do get to bring them back, they're going to be very angry. Yikes. Do transform cards leave the battlefield? They do not. Only if they specify. So the transform planeswalker cards, no, usually they don't, German Space Ace. The transform planeswalker cards leave the battlefield because of rules with state-based actions, but generally speaking, they do not. Huh? I think I have to bottom that, right? I think I just need a way to kill this other thing in the ice. Yeah, that's the thing that they explicitly have to do for planeswalkers. Because if you said transform them and then put loyalty counters on them, they would die to state-based actions, I believe, or some weird thing like that. That Parch guy, welcome to Hooglandia. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate you shipping your Beza bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. Down to 5. So we're dead to land 1-mana spell here because they do have 2 Arclight Phoenixes in their graveyard. I put Graveyard Hate in my sideboard. I didn't put Graveyard Hate in the sideboard of this deck. Probably a mistake. Really hoping they just don't have a land here still. I assume I'm dead here. I suppose this is Treasure Cruise. We're actually not dead because they have to delve a Phoenix. We go to 2 if this is a Treasure Cruise. Likely dead in the long term, but not dead this turn. Evening swimming dude. I mean, that's a solid not dead yet, right? Because I get to go put 1/1 counters on things. And then this lifelinks me for 2 up to... This lifelinks me for 2 up to 4. Alright, if their hand is really bad, we might have a shot. Dead. Dead to a lot here, but not dead on board. Wild Slash, Fiery Temper, Phoenix. Should we attack with all the knights because they have vigilance? Attacking with my summoning sick creature is generally frowned upon by the Magic community. Servos have reach? No, they're just 1/1s. It's been an interesting game. I feel like we played through the Awaken Horror flip a lot better than I was expecting. I guess we're technically dead to triple lightning axe here too. Playing around double removal spell is the reason why I sacked my 2/2 servo to scry 1 and make a 1/1 servo, just so I could have an extra jump blocker here. You thought Awoken Horror had flying? No, definitely not. Well, we actually have them dead. If they have nothing. So if they don't have a way to interact with the board here, they're dead. They have Brazen Borrower? I think they have Brazen Borrower. Wait, what? Okay. So I get to lifelink here, and then Hidden Stockpile makes a token, and they go to 3, and I'm not dead on board again. Because I'm going up to 6. Still, again, dead to a lot. Like, dead to another Brazen Borrower, dead to Wild Slash, dead to Fiery Temper, dead to Stiff Breeze, but, like, my opponent, made a mistake that leaves me, again, not dead on board. Thanks for the half a year apathy. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Wow. Alright, and we know they can't interact with any of my things, right? Because, like, if they could interact with my things, I'd be dead. So, I need a removal spell. Deccan Stone is lethal. 4 mana Vraska's lethal. So the land actually means that we're not dead on board again, because the land lets me go Gideon, Emblem, Nissa, downtick. I force them to trade their Drake chump blocking, and then my Hidden Stockpile revolts to make a token so I don't die to the Awoken Horror next turn. So again, dead to a lot, not dead on board. The Hidden Stockpile Revolt only triggers on my end step, so I could not use it to scry. Yeah, win or lose, this has been a good game. Opponent definitely made a couple of mistakes to keep us in it. And if we would have been a little bit more fortunate with our draw steps, we would have been able to punish them for doing so. Like, it looks like we're not going to get to capitalize on their mistakes, but I'm pretty happy with how I played. I feel like I played to my outs appropriately. Post board, we'll get some more tools to be a little bit more interactive, so we'll have more outs to draw to. Overall, I feel like my takeaway from this set with this deck is the black cards are just kind of unnecessary. Like, Hidden Stockpile's been, like, okay, and Vraska's been okay, but I kind of feel like, just, like, having some more deck and stones and being, like, green-white core is probably ideal. And just bringing a bunch of ways to kill their stuff. Sun's Champion is slow. Stockpile's a little slow. Do this. Run it. I'm not a big fan of Thoughtseize against these Phoenix decks, just because the opponent's archetype is capable of churning through so many cards that, while it can feel good if you, like, get lucky and Thoughtseize a Treasure Cruise, taking any single card out of their hand at any given point tends to not be stellar, just because the amount of cards they see in a turn tends to be high. I have no idea, Tub. There is not a replacement for hard work in Magic. Pioneer is largely unexplored. What's good, bad, or otherwise is everything until proven otherwise. Everything's good until it's not. Gotta put in the legwork and figure it out. Scale 1 to dead, where's this elf at? Questing bees for a recursive threat that can trade with thing instead of history. So this is why it's good to be. What do you mean by recursive? Because the definition of the word recursive, questing beast doesn't do, so I don't understand the context in which you're using that word here. Go ahead and just trophy this while they're tapped out so I don't run into a Spell Pierce or into the Trim or something. Emergency Doc, thanks for re-upping for the second month. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So I'll probably just be down ticking Nissa for the next 2 turns. Have a good one, Mikey. Well, I'll be up on the YouTubes as always. Evening, John. Yep. Yeah, someone else wrangled the kids to bed tonight, so I'm on and around. Wanted to work my way through some more of the Mythgard queue, or some more of the Mythgard Pioneer queue, and also get into some Mythgard hours. Didn't get to do as much of that this week as I necessarily wanted to. No, this is scheduled. This isn't like that late for me. You know, I don't go to bed at 8 o'clock. I'm not that old. Come on now. So, did I mess up here? Maybe I messed up. So if I shock this in, I guess, nah, I like this. And I attack with these, this flips, and then I can kick this migration. And then next turn I can Nissa down tick again and smash them for a bunch. So if they don't sweep our board next turn, we should be in a pretty incredible spot. And I hate you for showing me Mythgard my poor productivity. The game's very, very well done. And the technology behind it is phenomenal. It's a dangerous mix. Alright. So, unless they plus and discard a Fiery Temper to kill Nissa here, they should be pretty dead. I guess they could also just, like, have a Wild Slash. Actually, sampling Mythgard is completely free. Their feature decks are fantastic, and I wish every digital card game did them. If you haven't heard me explain them before, what their feature decks do is, when you create an account, you get, well, that's just great. When you create a Mythgard account, you get access to, 2 decks out of a pool of 30 at random that are just, like, reasonably powered, well put together decks that you can play in ranked and unranked for free without spending any money. So my recommendation is definitely, if you're interested in checking out Mythgard, put in a few hours on those to get a real taste for the constructed gameplay before you put any dollars in. They also rotate which feature decks you have access to twice per week, so every Monday and Friday they change. So, like, if you tried out Mythgard today and spent, like, tomorrow playing some of their feature decks, you'd have different ones to play on Monday. They could play 4 1-mana spells here. They could play 4 1-mana spells. Yeah, they're different for each person. There's a pool of, like, 30 decks, and you can assign 2 at random. Lego off. Welcome back. Pretty happy with how that game went. Let's just run it back. Alright. I don't want to stress anybody out, but this third game here on the draw is for 7 entire digital dollars. So if you're someone who watching high stakes is gonna make you feel a little awkward, you're gonna wanna probably pass up this next game here. Pretty sure I keep this, but, like, we're just, like, pretty cold to turn 2 thing in the ice. I don't think I can mulligan to 5 looking for an answer, though. Like, if we... Sweet. That's phenomenal. Don't play a thing. Don't play a thing. Don't play a thing. Don't do it. Tapped land, go. Tapped land, go. Pass the turn. Cast Charter Course. Cast Charter Course. Yes! 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 There's the 4th land for Vraska. Yeah, let's just migration. I actually had a burrito before the stream. It wasn't Chipotle, though. It was like from like an authentic Mexican place opposed to Tex-Mex. I suppose there's a world where they flip this thing in the ice next turn, huh? Am I supposed to be conservative? I think I'm supposed to be conservative. They could also, like, have a Spell Pierce or an Izzet Charm for my Vraska, which is not ideal. Just, like, looking for more removal spells here. Yeah, I'm going to keep Vraska. If they counter the first one, we'll play a second. Chipotle has nearly killed about 3 people too many for me to eat there. I mean, do you not go to grocery stores? Because there's issues with lettuce at grocery stores as well. TESL is the Elder Scrolls Legends or something like that. It's the Elder Scrolls card game. Hey, glad to hear it, Fall Not Dead. My body is ready to get Izzet Charmed and die. Okay, everything went better than expected. She's dead. You got her. Sweet. And they even... So this is bad timing on my opponent's part. So if they're not flipping this next turn, they give me a free token here. Because they killed Vraska during my main phase, allowing this to trigger. I mean, if you have something meaningful to talk about that's relevant that just happened. Most intelligent, reasonable discourse here is welcome here. If you're just looking to piss people off, generally that's not welcome regardless of how you're looking to do it. This might be a little bit risky. Just because if they kill one of my 1/1s, I don't get to play Vraska this turn. I kind of like going for broke here. Oh, I forgot to sack that Hidden Stockpile. That's a tilter. That's fine. It'll still trigger and give us a thing. And, like, forcing them to do that there, like, isn't necessarily terrible for us. Like, they're down to 1 card in their hand. So until that last card is Treasure Cruise, we're actually in an okay spot here. That being said, I've read this book before, and the last card is always Treasure Cruise, unfortunately. But for the time being, we're doing okay here. Dare I say we are even ahead? Yeah, that can sit right there. All right, bye, friends. They didn't have Spell Pierce for the last one, so hopefully they don't have it for this one either. They have 2 Phoenixes, so if they ever draw a Treasure Cruise, they're going to have a lot of power immediately, which is scary. Sweet. Vraska, sack Legion's Landing, immediately play second Legion's Landing has been really good. I don't know, maybe the Black Splash is fine. The Nexus matchup's probably bad no matter how you slice it with this archetype. Stockpile and Queen have both been very good. I probably want some Graveyard Hate in my sideboard. A couple copy of Rest in Peace would probably go a long way. There's a lot of miscellaneous graveyard decks in this format. Pineapple is the worst topping. Don't at me. Okay, I won't at you. I'll time you out. I'd recommend against picking fights you can't win. It's not a good game plan. Actually, do I even kick this? I think I just like sit here and make tokens, right? Hey, do I have enough mana? I can do... No, I can't deactivate 2, but that's fine, right? My Hidden Stockpile is gonna go. Yeah, this is fine. I think I just like hang on to the Migration in case I have another Anger. If you like a post-Anger gas up. Alright, so they're dead on board. This is 8-11. So let's just start by moving to combat and attacking. Actual Stone Cold nothing. Okay. Sure. Huh? Alright, thoughts. We got our $7. We 3-2'd. I feel like 4 Hidden Stockpile might be too many. I kind of want like 1 more piece of interaction in my main. I kind of wouldn't mind a 3rd Elspeth in the sideboard. We played against 2 Stompy decks. She was just like really, really good there. And like, she's kind of just great anywhere mid-range or controlling. And like, I feel like we can ramp to her fast enough that against like the Stompy deck, she's a fine card to bring in. I feel like some number of Rest in Peace in the sideboard is probably a reasonable approach. I don't know exactly what you want to cut. Depends on like, again, sideboards in this format are going to like take a little while to cement exactly what you want to be doing. Because again, we did just have what's probably going to be the biggest shakeup bands ever in Copter and Field and Ones. So like, as the format stabilizes, what exactly you want to be stacking your sideboard to beat is going to change. But overall, I was pretty happy with this. It felt like a good mix of both interactive and reactive cards. I'm a sucker for utility lands. This deck was sweet in that, like, we have plenty of mana sources, but we also have things for those mana sources do, and we fled out a little bit. Legion's Landing into Saproling Migration, enabling turn 3 Planeswalkers on top of Elvish Mystic and Llanowar Elves, enabling turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, was quite reasonable. Alright, that's going to be it for tokens. We're going to go ahead and hit a quick ad break while I get set up for the next deck. When we get back, we're going to kick the tires on Blue-Red Insole here in a post-Copter world. So, be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.